Hold on. Girls, girls, girls.
Come on, metal songs about girls.
Where are the metal songs about boys?
About women.
I want a metal song about a full-grown, beautiful woman with a nice job, a good apartment in the city, and maybe a little sex in the city. You know what I mean?
She's going to work on a crazy train. It's great.
I'm gonna eat some of your pub mix.
Oh yeah, go nuts.
We had to do a board. Is this DIY pub mix in a marinara cup? Oh, jalapenos. Does it give it a little flavor?
Yeah, it's in a Mount Olive pickled jalapeno slices jar.
Does it give it a little flavor?
Yeah, you'll notice. You'll notice in the walnuts and assorted. Well, I sealed it tight. Eric's having some trouble.
Is there a man in the house?
He's having some trouble opening a sealed jar of snacks.
Oh.
See, that's the thing, is you put it in your car, and then the heat of your car vacuum seals
it for you.
Yeah.
Do goldfish need to be vacuum sealed?
Yeah, that's a question for the fisher. That's a question for Gordon.
Of course it has to be.
No, not that Gordon. I meant Gordon, like the fisherman. Gordon's fish sticks.
Do you think Gordon ever went to Gorton's?
Oh, I hope so. Frozen food. That's kind of our whole thing, Gordon.
Gordon. I'm sorry, this is gonna get confusing. They're both going, what?
You think Gordon Ramsay?
It's like when you work with a guy who has the same name as you. It's like, listen, one of you is gonna have to go by your middle name.
You think Gordon Ramsay's ever been ice fishing? He's out in Finland. They're like, we'll take you fishing. And then they're like, oh, this salmon came out. And then Gordon feels it, and he's like, this salmon's been frozen.
Gordon, it's fresh frozen.
Gordon, it's fresh frozen.
What do you eat? Fake chicken and mayonnaise?
Fake chicken and ranch.
Oh, gross.
I know. Hey, man. I'm a busy boy.
Whoa, that wasn't a goldfish.
What did you eat? A walnut?
It was a jalapeno.
It was a pickled jalapeno. Left over when I washed it out months ago.
No, we had to abort our rallies trip. We were gonna go together.
we're gonna do the podcast from the front. Yeah. We're gonna walk up.
You guys mind if you plug this in?
Does that rallies have a little house for you when you walk up, or are you just outside?
Excuse me?
Some rallies, it's like there's like a triple phone booth size room. So it's like you can be inside rallies, but all inside is basically like a ticket booth at a Subway. Not a restaurant. It's like you put that at the Subway.
At the Subway. So you're taking someone's fare at the rallies.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Someone comes by, you're like, all right, it's $1.35.
Like you're at the rallies and you're about to go, is this where I send the Western Union? More restaurants should do that.
Take Western
Gordon
Union?
should open. I know, like a fast cat, like a no tables.
No tables. So
Drive through and standing up.
We got a big bar.
That's how he
You
digs
stand and eat. It's like Japan.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
They're pretty quick there.
You're listening to the Culture Corner.
This is good, man.
Standing's fun.
2 kinds of goldfish, some walnuts.
No, it's a good Chex Mix. 2 kinds of goldfish and walnuts. That's exactly what you said.
Everything that you just said.
Where I was gonna list other things, but I don't think there are.
I thought I saw. I think I see a raisin in there.
No, and then you got this one, which is multiple Special K type cereals.
That doesn't sound very good to me.
Oh,
I'm glad I grabbed this one.
There's bits of yogurt pieces.
Like you just dropped yogurt in there? Did you just not clean out the yogurt?
I didn't know that dried yogurt was different than just dry yogurt.
I thought the antioxidants.
I thought they make the Special K, they drop in a dollop, big spoonful into the bag, then they seal it and shake it
up. There's one guy whose whole job is shaking.
Yeah.
He's a reformed convict. He shook his baby.
Shaking it.
Usually that gets him fired from jobs. They don't like that on a resume. But
shake it, baby.
At Kellogg's?
Do you think people, because when I was a kid, there'd be like PSAs that would be like, don't shake a baby.
Yeah.
And now I feel like you don't see those.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone knows you aren't supposed to shake a baby.
But do they?
But in 10 years from now, we're going to be a whole back on the ball.
I work with a woman who's like 22.
She probably has no
and
fucking
she's got
idea.
a 1-year-old. I bet that kid gets shook all the time.
That-
You know what? Maybe it goes back even farther. Maybe that's why there's so many of these autistic kids now.
You think people have been shaken?
I think people have been
Or you
shook.
think that's why you think, well, no, these autistic kids came
From
about.
shook
These
from shook to wook. One man's tale of being the dumbest person alive and still surviving.
No, all of this non-shaking generation would be when all these autistic kids were born.
That's true, I know.
So
Maybe we should have been shaking
Yeah.
these kids. You think we both got shook?
I
and
think
that's
about
why-
autistic people. They're sensitive to physical touch
Yeah.
and like sensations.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're a baby, you gotta.
Yeah. Do you think we both got shook? And that's why we only touch the spectrum with like our fingertips.
Oh.
We're just we can put our arm up and touch it, but we're still all right.
on the spectrum, Eric is the blue part, that kind of the rainbow, that kind of just is the sky.
Yeah, it's not really part of the spectrum.
You're like, and there's a white part of the rainbow. No, it's a cloud.
That's a cloud. You're the cloud, I'm the sky. We both just touch the rainbow.
Well, we live in Louisville where there's KY Spectrum News Network.
Yeah.
So you think people ever run home to
It's
their
all about trains.
some high school fucking and some like high school kid runs home and they're like, "Mom, thanks to my science project, I'm on the spectrum."
Oh, honey.
Honey, we knew.
What did you do? Were you eating lead paint?
We knew. Oh, you're on the news
Oh.
for being autistic.
What a twist. Twist after twist with you.
They got him a cake that says you're autistic. And
Do you
then-
think it's too late to shake you?
No, man, autistic people are cool. It is
I
funny
don't
how
have
they're
beef.
like,
There are raisins in here.
oh. It's funny how they're like, no, in the future we'll be able to see like what issues cell phones and all these other things have effect
they're
on the
gross.
youth. And then now it's like, you're like, oh, everyone, it could have been anything. You're like, definitely something changed people. It might not be vaccines.
But something
And it might not be
happened.
like having cell phones in your pocket. But we can all agree the world is different.
Something happened.
Something's going on.
No, I handed you those raisins because
I want
raisins
those raisins.
raisins are porous. And I think they did get a little jalapeno. That was a spicy raisin. baby.
Was it?
It had a little kick to it for a raisin. For a raisin, it had a little kick to it. Okay.
These prunes are a bit much. I need some more cream with my prunes. That is a nice snack.
Cream prunes.
You put some cream for prunes in a little dish and some whipped cream. The whipped fatty part of the sweetened cream.
So we're gonna shake kids, and I think it's time for shake and bake to have a comeback.
Shake and bake. That's probably why it went away.
Yeah, people got so used to
The
shaking.
shake and bake and the don't shake your kids people need to get some sort of rhythm worked out.
Don't shake. Shake
10
and
years
bake.
on for one, 10 years on for the other.
Don't shake. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake's funny because it's like, hey, seasoning. We came up with that.
That's our deal. And baking, totally us.
Seasoning a piece of meat before you cook it?
Convection oven,
That's
our idea.
proprietary knowledge.
TM.
That's shake and bake, baby. That's probably why shake and bake didn't work, is 'cause eventually they were like, hey, you need to put the ingredients on food products.
And they have a TM after every single one. And
No,
it
but
takes
shake and
up-
bake's problem is they're like, fuck. Now they know the ingredients and the process. Because they were like, other people will tell you the ingredients, but you don't know how to make the ketchup.
Oh.
But like, shake and bake will tell you how to do it, but you don't know what the fuck. God, they know about the cayenne.
Who told these Philistines about paprika?
The FDA's making us disclose basil.
God damn it, everyone has pepper at home. This is a nightmare.
They're like, but it's like a big news expose where they're listing like, and it turns out the lemon pepper chicken was just lemon, garlic, this, and Cajun, and the pepper chicken was just pepper.
Just pepper.
And then someone at home was like a box of pepper chicken, shake and bake. They're like, God damn it!
What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
It turns out the plain one was nothing.
It was just flour.
The bag was a bunch of ripped up newsprint.
Flour and newspaper. Flour and reject cartons of shake and bake that they had to pulp down.
Pulp down the shake and bake. Shake and bake, I feel like that would be some like some big fat guy's like a life hack. Like I get McDonald's fries, I put them in the shake and bake.
And then I bring them back to the McDonald's and I say, can you deep fry this again?
What I do is I take a banana and I drop it in a fucking thing of shake and bake.
Chow down.
Yeah. I take cereal and I put the ramen seasoning in it. It's a life
I
hack.
take my oatmeal. It's hot. Ramen seasoning is for hot stuff, so I put it in my oatmeal.
This happened to me a lot. I'll get like a little bit of oatmeal on me. I'm like, it's so
Are
hot.
you eating oatmeal nude?
No, just a little bit
It
on
fall on your
arm.
clothes.
Oh, it's a breakfast food.
You are.
I have kinky sex with hot oatmeal in the morning. It's like wax. Also, it's like wax because I put syrup in my oatmeal. It's very sticky. How do you do your oatmeal?
Microwave.
I thought so.
Now, was that a wasabi almond or?
A little bit of unwashed pickle. Mount Olive. Who's Olive?
Maybe I was.
Mount Olive Pickles. Is there a Mr. Pickles who will be mad at me?
I don't want to upset the guy from Rugrats.
I don't know if Tommy's a cuck or not.
Tommy's the baby, I think.
Well, I'm using it. It's been 25 years. It's been a while. I'm not trying to be ridiculous, but I think it's been 20 years since all grown up.
I don't think that's probably true, actually.
They just keep making it be like, no, seriously, now they're grown up. They're 25.
They're 25.
And then a few years later, like, no, it's okay. Now we did it in their 40s.
Listen.
Right.
What about Golden Girls?
Golden rats.
Golden Rats.
Rug rats. How about fake rug
What
rats?
about dementia rats?
No, it's fake rug rats.
Winks, I get it.
Like a rug. It's a rug.
For your head.
The opening is just Tommy adjusting a
Do you
wig
think
in a
anyone
mirror.
ever tried to pitch the idea of wigs and that was their pitch? They were like, what if there was like a rug for your head? And everybody's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, so if you're bald, you can put a rug on your head.
That is funny that people just call him a rug. That guy's wearing a rug.
That is a true area rug.
That's got shag carpet.
That rug only works in one area. It's a true area rug. Just
Yeah.
like a merkin.
They could have done that for the Big Lebowski. That rug really tied my whole head together. Wait, doesn't he like pee on the rug?
They pee on the rug, the Germans.
Oh, that's way weirder.
The Germans pee on the rug.
That scene is just him in the tub.
Yeah.
And then the German's peeing on his fucking his toupee. His toupee is just getting full of piss while he listens to One Toke
on.
Over the Line or whatever the fuck.
It was whale sounds, I think.
Was he?
Yeah, because he's getting high in the tub.
Yeah.
What else do you listen to?
He listen to One Toke Over the Line by Brewer and Shipley. That movie, I'll be the first to say it. Cult classic.
Cult classic. Not enough people talk about that one.
No. No one knows about that one.
It's funny when something becomes a cult classic and then it's like not anymore, but they still call it that.
Yeah.
Remember what you just said?
No, yeah. No, I know. Hey, that thing that you just said, I agree with. Called classics.
Cult classic. Jim James.
When I think of the cult classics,
Jim Jones.
I think of Firewoman and She Sells Sanctuary. Other hit songs by the rock band The Cult. Rain. I think they have a song called Rain. Here comes the rain.
The Cult that sounds like a terrible song.
The Cult? That's a band.
Yeah, I know, but Rain.
No, The Cult is great. There's a guy who's born in like Canada, but then he like grew up in England. He was like an English band, but he's like, yeah, I lived in Canada as a kid, so I'm allowed to just be like a fake Native American guy. Because you know what England doesn't have any of in the 80s? People doing fake Native American shit.
Yeah, you can totally get away with it.
Yeah.
Who's getting mad?
Exactly.
Who's gonna get mad? Who's gonna call me out on this?
Who is gonna knock on Ian Astbury's fucking London address?
Listen, you got a lot of Indian immigrants, but not the ones that I know.
Not those guys.
These guys aren't wearing headdresses. I mean, they kind of are.
Yeah.
Some of them are.
Oh boy.
The turban a dress?
It is wild that those, because they brought like the Chinese over to build the railroads and stuff. Yeah. It's like, man, what if they would have just gone a little bit further south? We could have some real Abbott and Costello stuff going out in the West. They would have gotten that workforce from just a little bit lower on the coast.
The Indians built the railroads. No, they didn't. They
tried to stop it.
They got tied to the railroad tracks. No, the Indians. Who were the Indians first?
The Cleveland Indians?
Who were the Indians first?
The Cleveland Indians.
Not their name anymore.
No.
Now they're just the Cleveland racists.
No, they're the we're sorry.
They should have just called themselves the Cleveland racists. That should have been like part of their penance.
No, they were the least. The Braves are the racist ones.
I thought the Indians one were.
They both
racist.
are, but the Braves do the tomahawk chop.
Oh yeah, but you're not going to stop people from doing that. I bet that still happens.
Yeah, I mean tomahawks. That's bigger than Native Americans.
I don't think so.
Damn.
Maybe Vikings.
It is wild that the bow and arrow was like. These Native Americans had bow and arrows, and then didn't other people have them too? That's crazy.
It's a good idea.
How shocked must they have been when they're fucking facing off and they're like, they have a brief moment of we're not so different, you and then
just an arrow through the throat
simultaneously.
Yeah, right. They're both too lost in the moment, staring at the arrow coming at them that they forget to move.
Christopher Columbus and all them,
all those folks.
The Pilgrims come over and they're like, whoa, there's a bunch of dead Norwegian people and dead fucking some group we've never seen before.
Some Laplanders.
Everyone's dead. That would have been funny. Because then it's like, that would be cool if that was one country's origin story. And then everyone's like, oh yeah, well everyone lives on stolen land with all this complicated history. And then like Australia's just like, nope, everyone was dead. Right before we got here, there'd been a big like meteor thing.
Heat wave.
Heat wave.
They all passed out and died.
We're actually the only one who's allowed to be. That'd be great if they did find just one unclaimed continent somewhere in the ocean.
Oh, that'd be so rad.
And then everyone's like, so.
How are we going to solve this?
That'd be great if that's Elon Musk's plan.
I'm just going to keep looking around.
He's like, I'm going to look for more land on Earth. Fuck going to Mars.
Fuck Mars. I'm going to find new Earth.
People keep saying the oceans are unexplored.
Well.
They mean the bottom, sir.
Well, maybe there's something going on under there.
Maybe there's a bubble.
What about a big bubble?
It could be a big bubble.
What if God blew a big old bubble?
Just Elon Musk up there. What if God farted in the center of the earth?
Okay. Go
All
on.
right. So you didn't have that threesome?
Where's the money for Twitter? You still owe us $46 billion.
We should try to buy Twitter.
I'll buy a tweet.
Because you can say whatever you want on Twitter.
Whatever you want, man.
I was in Oklahoma City, and I was doing the show, and I booked it, so it was like locals I didn't really know, but people like recommended. And then this one girl had to drop, so we like switched her out the last minute. And then this other girl's like, there's a normal white lady from Oklahoma who I don't know.
Yeah.
And then she beforehand is like, can we say whatever we want?
Oh, that's.
And then
always
I
a
was
gamble.
like, yeah, of course. Like, you can swear to get dirty, to go nuts. And then she walks away, and then a second later, I was like, oh no.
She's gonna say the N-word.
And then I just flash forward to her being like, all homos do deserve to die. Dan said this was cool.
Dan said it was fine, that I could say whatever I wanted.
Dan gave me permission.
I have permission from the highest form of government that this open mic has ever seen.
The Italians are all criminals. I'm just in the corner.
Bring back Gypped.
We should be able to say that, and then I pulled the mic. And then the audience just hears her go, rig! And I pulled the mic. No, that was funny. She did not. I walked up and I clarified. I was like, "You just meant like swearing," and like she's like, "Yeah, I just want. Can I talk about like my husband's balls?"
I'm like,
And I was like, "Yes."
with me.
I like to know.
Why don't you just talk? This seems like one of those things you just need to get out of your system. Why don't you just tell me and then go tell jokes?
I'm gonna start doing the opposite. I'm gonna start like in the group DM, but I don't know the comics on the show. I'm just gonna be like, and by the way, everyone, here's how much time everyone's doing. And feel free to say whatever. Cancel culture does not exist. Certain groups need to be called out. Us as comics need to right this ship of society.
It's our job as modern day philosophers.
Yes, modern day philosophers.
To dictate what free speech is, which is what philosophers have always been concerned with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No philosopher has ever been concerned with anything but free speech.
It is funny that it's like people are like, oh man, all these comics are like, are having sex in like problematic power imbalances, and it's like, well, you're the one who said they're modern day philosophers. What's more Socratic than fucking getting some underling, whipping out your toga?
That sounds like sounds like Plato to me.
Yeah.
This guy's fucking Dionysus or whatever.
No, you've got the classic philosophical things. You got like the allegory of the cave. You've got it's got to go all the way to space. Give it a minute. You've got
go where the food is.
Go where the food is.
Why don't they make the whole plane
out of my penis?
Out of my hard cock? Is that raisin spicy?
It is. Hot grape. Do you think it was a hot grape?
I think it was
hot grapes.
What came first, a hot grape or a hot raisin? A grape. Grape. But what do you think?
Probably the grape.
A grape, but I mean...
Can you hydrate a raisin?
And just get it real wet?
I know you can do surgery on a grape.
Can you get a raisin real wet and plump it up?
Remember they did surgery on a grape?
I've heard.
Okay.
What kind of surgery?
That annoyed me so much.
Did they de-seed it?
They like took off the skin. They like dissected it.
Yeah.
But that's not surgery.
No. That's autopsy.
I'm not doing surgery on all these raccoons I captured.
Is an autopsy a surgery?
Oh, good question.
Do you have to be
That's a more depressing. We did an autopsy on a grape. We ran a sexual assault kit on a grape. We fingerprinted a banana. We put a banana into the system.
We unlawfully imprisoned a peach. We put a Tangelo in an ice camp.
I did therapy into a clementine.
We put a baby corn in an ice camp.
God damn. You know, this is, I feel like I didn't see this twist. If only we could go back. You put a cantaloupe on a laid down sofa. They did therapy.
We did therapy with the cantaloupe. We did reflexology on an apple. We did acupuncture on a cactus. It was pointless.
How many people do you think were like on their deathbed awaiting like a liver transplant? They're like,
we did surgery on a
They
grape.
did surgery on a grape. That was their flatline.
Beep. We did dialysis on a plum.
We're going to be launching the Theranos machines on carrots. Just one drop of juice will be able to tell if it's delicious. Then the machine explodes.
That will work later.
We'll figure it out. Did you watch that show?
No, not yet.
It's
I
just-
want to watch it.
You should, it's good.
It looks funny.
There's a really funny moment at the end though, where it's
No spoilers.
It's not a spoiler, but it's her being like them being like it's the glimpse of like what she's up to now.
Yeah.
And in it, it's her just sort of like meeting a guy and flirting or whatever. Yeah. It's them like in bed under a cover doing that and they're chatting.
We're strangers.
Yeah, exactly. We're naked strangers.
Isn't this weird?
That's my new podcast.
Naked
Strangers. There's no way that doesn't exist.
I'm sure it does.
There's no way some drag queen / comic from fucking some Midwestern shithole hasn't made that podcast. No, but she's like talking to this guy, and then this guy's like, he's like, it's supposed to be he's like optimistic, and they're all happy now. She's just embracing happiness. And this guy's like, yeah, and like everyone's there. Money's like not important. It's just about ideas. And then at the end, they burn a giant man. And then you realize you're like they're using Burning Man. The way that you'd be like, oh, you're starting your new life. And the way that Natalie Portman is like, listen to the Shins.
Yeah,
and fucking,
exactly.
He's like, have you heard about Burning Man? And then she goes, that's magical.
It sounds like that's the
And then it
beautiful.
cuts to like deposition footage or
It's the
whatever.
most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
It was beautiful.
Where are you going?
Oh, I gotta do a show at a store, and then I'm going on vacation.
What store?
What, the Lou? That's the name of the store.
Where's that?
It's in Germantown. It's a hip store.
Okay.
Do you need like a Michael Jordan poster?
No.
Do you need like an old wrestling T-shirt?
You do. So.
Do you need Nintendo?
I know how you're getting paid tonight.
Do you
But
do you need like, I don't know, Earthworm Jim on N64?
I mean, I could probably give that as a gift to someone.
I love how stores now are like, hey, we're opening a store, and then you walk in, you're like, what's this, your basement?
Hey man, I had that idea first, ahead of my time, like always.
That's true.
Ahead of my time, like always.
You should bring that back as go for the angle of an art installation though.
That's there
And be
we
like,
go.
my life is for sale.
My life. You can fuck me.
You can come in and you can buy anything.
Fuck me. It's just.
That'd be great if it's like someone reads about that whole like, oh, Shia LaBeouf is doing that art thing where you can do whatever, and someone fucked him, and then it's just like some big like ugly lonely guy. It's just like, I'll do that.
I'll do that.
Anyone can come fuck me.
Anyone can fuck me.
I'll be in here.
Come on in.
It's art.
This is my vision. Yeah, Eric's art store. And people come in and they're like, yeah, do you have like brushes? They're like, oh no, I've sold all those. Like, well, what else? Do you have like paints?
You think people are ever real excited to do a bukkake scene? They're like the actress, and she's real excited. And they're like, do you have any vision for this? She's like, I'm open to not have any vision by the end of it.
Open to be visionless.
I have no vision.
It's gross.
That's insane.
Grotesque. Yeah.
I don't think we are.
I don't think we are, but...
Eric's loving these goldfish.
Sorry, I had to go in for a few more goldfish.
You sound like a shark. You sound like a spoiled kid at a fair. Find a bunch of goldfish.
You can't buy them. You gotta earn it.
So you tell me Steve-O had to go in every day and win carnival game just to fucking do his dumb trick.
He's going to Coney Island every day.
Steve-O's like, I'll swallow a goldfish and puke it up. But first I need it might be like $10.
It's probably going to be more.
I'm not very good
I'm
at
pretty drunk.
All they have is the basketball one.
And I get a feeling they bend that hoop in.
Yeah.
I've seen Adventureland.
I think there's a magnet
or whatever
in the ball.
that show's called. What was that movie called? I thought he was I thought he had found a way to charge his phone on the back of a display board, which I thought would have been pretty rad.
That's very cool.
But he was just holding his charger very low and talking on the phone while it was plugged in. I was like, I would have given you $1 just for the ingenuity.
No, that's very cool. It's like in the 70s, they're like, oh, we would break into the street lights to hook up the speakers for the parties.
Yeah.
And it's like now, my phone will die, and I'm like, fuck. I'm trying to do that shit. If only DJ Kool Herc had taught me. God damn! If only I had the skill set of a teenager in the South Bronx.
Weren't these parties successful enough that they could pay for a generator?
Well,
There's just gas spilling into the room.
Yeah, it's just smoke filling up.
No, it's a smoke machine. I bet you're lightheaded. This party's hot.
Well, they needed all the thing for all the big fat beats.
The big fat beats?
The big fat beats.
The big fat beats, of course. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I wasn't considering the big fat
They
beats.
need way more power. That's why every once in a while there's a blackout. This is because of hip-hop culture.
It's thriving yet again.
It's thriving so much.
It's thriving. We're all out of power.
The whole city's lit.
We're all out of power. Because black power is taking over.
Hell yeah.
Black power blacks out.
I was at. You ever been to
Yeah.
I was in Pikesville, Kentucky last night for Hillbilly Days.
Okay.
Big festival.
All right.
And Kentucky Power was doing a demonstration.
I don't know why it
Why
says
does that say
phantom.
Phantom?
Phantom power.
The Phantom.
That's what I tell myself when I hit it. I'm like, I'm a phantom.
Johnny Phantom.
I'm Johnny. I'm Danny.
I think I was gonna say it's Danny, but that's my
Phantom.
name. Phantom.
Your name's Phantom.
My dad married someone
I'm Phantom.
from the Of the Opera family. He married Melissa of the Opera. And let's just say she's a modern gal.
Modern lady.
Insisted on a hyphen. So my full name is Of the Opera Phantom. You know, Amy.
You'd fit right in a library.
Because of the first part?
Because of the way it's sorted.
Oh.
You go by author's last name.
Oh, perfect. I thought you were saying, every time I hear the word library, I think of...
I get scared because of all my overdue fees.
No, I think of a conservative joke I heard as a teenager.
Okay.
Where they were like, Bill Clinton had a book called My Life, and they were like, they should call it My Lie, and they should have it at the libraries. And I remember as a kid being like, the fuck?
The fuck just happened?
You can't do that joke twice. Even as a 12-year-old, I know you can't. You aren't allowed to do.
Who told that joke? Dennis Miller?
I want to say it was either somebody. It's two options: either somebody on the Colbert Report, like that he was talking to, or it was the half-hour news hour, which was Fox had like a thing where when the Daily Show was real hot, Fox was like, "We're gonna do the Daily Show.
We're gonna do it,
and
but
I remember
it's gonna be cool."
Yeah, and at that time I was into
And old.
politics. I was more open-minded as a kid, so I remember literally being like 13 and being like, I'm a liberal, but I like to see both sides of the argument.
It's important to see both sides.
Also, I really don't want to do my homework.
So if I watch two TV shows, were they on at the same time?
Wow, I don't think so.
Because that would be a bad idea.
That would be a very bad idea. Because it's like...
Can't compete with Johnny Stew.
That is funny to imagine the people who are like channel flipping. Like it's 7 comedy nerds. Everyone else is vehemently watching only one of these 2 channels. And 7 bored Midwestern boys with undiagnosed autism are quote unquote studying jokes.
Writing down jokes.
Why is this funny? That'd be great.
Now your second shift. The way you get your sea legs.
You just take some teenager into like Steak and Shake, and you're like, you got to hire this guy. Now, obviously, all of his checks are gonna go to me. I'll pay him out. He and I have our own system.
But listen, he's the great kid.
You just have a stable of teenagers you find jobs for. I'll drive them here.
I'll drop him off every day. If it's late, it's my fault. Dock his pay. It's fine.
It all goes to me. I mean, it all
goes to him.
It's in the wash.
And that's his responsibility.
Speaking of wash, I'll wash his apron every night. Man, you ever...
I got a sink. The water gets real hot.
That was a fun moment, realizing that like you got to wash your apron.
How long did that take?
Oh, I feel like several jobs. I feel like I like moved states before I learned that.
I used to just because when I did not care about that first job I had.
I just had a job in Kentucky. And they're like, "What is that in your apron?" I'm like, "Oh, I used to work at a Steak and Shake in Ohio." Someone spilled shake base.
No, it's there now.
Yeah.
I used to just pour hot water on like a cloth napkin and then just rub it all over my apron, and I was like, "Yeah,
hell yeah,
that did it.
We did it. We did it.
It looks shiny, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, and then it dries and it just looks dirty again.
It's even dirtier. Well, if I spread the ketchup around all the way, it'll just be red.
It'll just be a red apron, and maybe that's cool.
You gotta wear apron now. What do you put in your apron? Gun, server book,
gun,
and pen, some change,
a revolver, a book of matches, a big old cigar, a flask, and my iPad. We're living in the future now.
The future.
I don't need to bring pens to work anymore. The gun I still need. Because we're living in the future.
It'd be fun to have a little mouth.
We're living in the future. I need the gun.
In the future. In the future, everyone will have a gun.
I hope so. I'm still waiting for mine to come in the mail. Just a loose envelope with a gun in it.
You know, I did a Dungeons and Dragons show the other day.
Wow, man.
And the dungeon master said, I draw my sword. And I said, cool. Well, I'm going to 3D print a gun then.
I draw my sword. I snap your pencil.
Yeah. I snap your pencil and I ram the lead into your eye. And then I crumple up the drawing of the sword.
It sucked anyways.
No, there was no dragon.
Was there a
dungeon? I don't think there was a dungeon. I'm now realizing there was neither.
Wow.
No wonder Gary Gygax booed.
He's dead.
God damn it. Is he?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
But I bet if he watched that show, he'd be rolling in his grave, Dan.
You know what he'd be rolling? 2 6s, because I'm pulling off the big move, baby.
No, he died a long time ago.
Damn.
Don't act disappointed.
Wait, let's see if Gary Gygax is alive.
Yes!
I rolled dice. I know it didn't sound like that at all.
But just trust me.
Trust me. I had dice in hand reach. It wasn't 2 different weed containers.
Whoa. Definitely not that.
Well, my guy gave me 3 different kinds. And then he's like...
And then you labeled them yourself.
I labeled them. Well, he also labeled them. And then I labeled them also. I've got runts, ice cream... And Jack Herrer. He's some guy. Because when I Googled that, it gave me a Wikipedia page.
Jake Ferrara?
It's Jake Flores. It's Jay Farrar from Wilco. Or whatever the phone. Uncle,
I think that's the name I was trying to say.
You ever get into Wilco?
No, man.
Wilco's one of those bands where it's like, I can't listen to this music because there's no drums. And then people are like, there's drums. And then I'm like, oh.
Oh. Well, were they trying to keep that a secret?
Yeah, why don't they rock then? What the fuck? I could have sworn this was acoustic.
Nah, man, music's dumb. I'm done with it.
What's the last music you listened to?
I heard a good song the other day on the radio.
What'd you hear?
It was by this band called Wet Leg. I think that's what it was called.
Okay.
It was called Shay's Lounge.
That is a sexy band name.
I know, right? And it sounds sexy too.
Wet
It reminded me
leg.
of Comedia a little bit.
Hell yeah, Wet Leg.
Yeah, it was good.
People are making music for, you know what I mean?
The only thing is that these people make music for years now.
I don't want to get all red in the face, but I'm thinking
Can't
of
even keep
music.
track.
No, Memphis is cool. It's not as grimy as it used to be.
No?
Because I remember one of my favorite Memphis memories.
I still follow Wave 11 Memphis, and they've been saying it's pretty rough there.
Whoa. You follow the news in Memphis?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Oh, of course.
I've got a few random... I like to keep my finger on the
Yeah.
pulse of a few random cities in
Oh,
America.
that's a great way to do it. That's a great way. Eric gets VHS tapes of the nightly news sent to him from several markets.
You get the San Diego
He's a
one.
tape trader.
I've got the San Diego one. I've got the Little Rock one. And I've got Memphis.
Hell yeah. No, man, Meg, one time I was walking, because you could bring, a lot of bars in Memphis, you could bring your own liquor to.
Yeah.
But apparently it's not a thing anymore.
But you were doing it anyways.
Well, not this time. No, in the past, you could just go to the bar like with a bottle. You're like, hey, can I bring this in? And they're like, yeah.
But I think you could probably still do that.
Why? No, you can't.
Just ask. They'll let you do it.
I guess maybe.
Is there a corking fee?
That'd be fun. It's like, can I bring my own fries to this burger place? Yeah, we do have a ketchup charge.
Damn it. That's how they get you.
A ketchup charge, $3.50. I know it's high, but you're bringing it in.
You're bringing it in. I mean, come on.
The house needs to save. No, I was walking with some fella, just like a guy on the streets.
Jawa?
No, just some not a comic.
Oh, okay.
But it was me and him, and he was like, "Yeah, we're going this way." Because I was asking him which way I was supposed to go. He's like, "Go this way." And then he and I are walking, and I'm giving him swigs of my warm vodka. And then this woman runs up to us, and she's missing an eye.
Oh.
And it's not fresh missing an eye. She is missing an eye.
Yeah, just
She is fresh.
loose socket, though? Or not loose socket,
little,
but
like,
just empty?
Empty,
Like,
yeah,
like,
no
is it-
cover. Yeah,
yeah.
no cover, no weird ball or nothing.
And wide open.
Wide open. Oddly enough, wearing Groucho glass. No, oddly I'm wearing horned rim, sort of rockabilly style specs. No, but she runs up and then that guy like disappears.
Yeah.
And that lady was like,
With your vodka.
Yes,
He's
with
like,
vodka.
they have a scam.
"No, I have." No, it's the opposite. That guy saved me from her scam.
Oh.
Because I had the vibe, and then that lady's like, "I need money. Someone just took my eye." I just lost my eye. Help! Help! And then that guy, I see him like he runs way behind, so it's in my eyesight. And then he's just he's giving me a signal like, "No, like don't
Don't talk.
And then that lady sees me looking at that guy, and then turns around and sees him and goes, "Oh fuck you, goddamn!" Like, and then I just sort of like walked off. And then later that guy ran up to me. And he's like, "That lady's been missing that eye for years."
I don't even think she ever had one.
And then me and that guy, we ultimately got to the bar.
His house. Did he kiss you?
That's true. No, we got to the bar, and then I went, "Hey man, if you want, you can come. You can come inside. I'll like buy you a drink or whatever." And then he goes, "I'm not allowed in there." So my fucking savior is somebody else's one-eyed woman.
Yes, one-eyed woman.
So I gave him I said, "You want the rest of this warm vodka?"
Sure.
He said, "Thank you."
I hope he did.
And I told them that story this time, and they went, "That guy doesn't live here no more." And I went, "You know that guy?" And they went, "No, just that kind of thing isn't here anymore."
They kicked all those people out.
Yeah, they
What the
picked
hell
all
was he trying to say?
That is kind of what he's trying to say. But
fuck?
she was like, those days of Memphis are gone.
Those people, they're all gone now.
Everyone has two eyes. Everyone has two eyes, or if they do have one eye, they get along.
Good.
That'd be great if that lady really did just lose. Like one day I'm talking to some medical person, like, "No, when you lose your eye, it's just clean. There's no blood or anything." I was like, "Oh God."
Oh, no.
I should have helped that woman.
What if like she like ran into like you know sometimes like a street sign is just right at like your eye level so you don't quite see it and you bump into it. Maybe she did that and her eye fell out and it fell down the sewer grate.
Oh. Good thing I had chewing gum and a fishing line and a paperclip. So fold your phone over there.
Oh, you don't. Oh.
Oh my god.
Now we're really in trouble.
And the phone's shining up. It's too bright to
I can't
look
even
in.
see your eye anymore.
Oddly enough, you've probably got the best.
You may have better vision than me right now.
Yeah. Now that lady, you think people are missing an eye or ever like, this is perfect. I can see in the dark. And then they cover their one good eye and they're like, oh, never mind.
Oh, wait. I'm not a pirate. I
God
forgot.
damn it. I still got to get ear patches going.
Ear patches?
Yeah, so you can
You
cover.
mean muffs?
No, it's like one ear muff, but so you can cover one ear and make it real strong.
Yeah.
And then when you need to, you can lift it and hear far away.
And then you'll hear super far. Like
Yeah.
a bat.
If they're like, hey, the Stones are playing up the road at the stadium.
Where?
And then all of a sudden you hear,
Sympathy for the devil. That's how this song goes.
that's great.
So what are you taking on the road with you here? You got your button press. You got a big bag of.
No, that's coming off the road.
You got a big bag of dirty T-shirts.
That's old T-shirts.
You got button materials. Looks like mostly food.
No, this one's food.
I don't see a joke book in there. I'll tell you that much.
I'm leaving those on the road. No, I'm about to go on vacation. I'm off the road.
Oh yeah. You're just going to what the loo?
I'm going to what the Lou?
Tell them what time the show starts.
Hey, if anyone's listening to this,
Tonight.
go back in time. The show doors are at 7:30. It's currently 7:46. No, the show's at 8:30 sharp.
You sharp?
Oh yeah, we're gonna be stabbing people with those pencils that people been drawing shit with.
Who else is on the show?
Uh,
Let's build this up.
John Mayer. I'm trying to think if there's anyone on the show. Reed is on the show.
Okay.
There's one person. And
we
even then,
both know.
the listeners do not know.
But we both know. And
No,
that's
we
what's
both-
important.
That is what's important.
Our friendship is the important part
Yeah.
of the show. You've got, let me try and guess who else is on the lineup. Let's see. Was your bed already wet and smelly by that point?
I don't think so. I think that was before I tried to clean it by dumping water on it. And then quickly went, oh no, and I'll put cat litter inside and then vacuum the cat litter. Man, that's a great. Someday we gotta figure out how to fix the audio on those early episodes. But hey, my cousin has that bed now, and for all I know, it still fucking
all I
smells
know,
like shit.
Still smells like shit, and every once in a while, cat litter falls out.
That's what's really important. Zach, if you're listening to this, that's why.
You didn't wet the bed.
Yeah.
I wet the bed on purpose with water.
With water.
And cat litter.
Possibly because I wet the bed on accident. I don't remember.
Who knows?
I don't remember the reason. I was like, I'm going to clean my mattress.
It's something everybody usually does
Yeah.
every couple years.
It is funny that it's like, man, that was probably the one thing I tried to do that year.
It was mid-pandemic.
Yeah.
And then you put it out in the rain.
Well, that was not the smartest plan. It was one of those days where you were like, "Oh, it's sunny," but because the sun is glistening off rain clouds.
I'll put out my wet cat litter bed to dry.
Yeah. Thank God a bunch of neighbor cats didn't fucking shit and piss all over it.
I'm sure they did.
Oh no! How does it feel like I forgot that it was out there at one point? It was out there for like an extra day or so.
You left. You're like, oh, I'll get that when I come back.
Yeah.
And then you didn't sleep that night.
I'll sleep on the wood.
He came home all cracked out.
Ugh.
I'll sleep on a piano bench.
Hey, that'd be nice. That wouldn't be the worst thing. The worst
Well,
possible.
that piano bench was padded.
An ottoman would be better.
That piano bench was padded.
It's because a crazy person's playing the piano. He's a psycho. He has a padded bench. All right, that is a terrible joke. I gotta leave. Though.
Okay. Well, go check out Dan in 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'll see you soon, everybody.